I want to ask you a question that someone once asked me when I was younger. That question is, what is your football dream? Hold on, I want you to think before you answer, because the answer you give might determine your entire career and your entire life. Pause the video right now, and once you have an answer, hit play. Whatever answer you came up with, hold on to that throughout this video, and eventually I'll tell you why I asked you this question. But first, I want to take you on the biggest adventure of my life. For the next 7 days, me, my friend Alex, and my sister Agnes will travel to the Mediterranean island of Cyprus. Why? To go through with what will be the most insane training camp of my career. Don't believe me? During this adventure, I will reveal new and exciting news about the future of my career, the future of Project Reborn, and the future of this channel. I will dive into the 𝗖𝗶හි𝗲𝗄𝗵 initiative, which is now a part of Project Reborn. I will meet up and train with one of my subscribers for the first time ever. I will show you all the training sessions I go through, revealing exactly what I do, what tools I use to optimize my training and to become the best version of myself. And I will probably get to live a bunch of new experiences and create memories that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Welcome to the biggest adventure yet. Welcome to Project Reborn 2, and welcome to Cyprus.
Fenomenal content.
Okay guys, so we have arrived at the villa, finally. It was really hard to get in here. The parking was absolutely, I don't know what to say. Let's just head inside, I'm too tired to talk.
Det är lugnt eller? So it's the first morning after we arrived in Cyprus, and we're gonna have the first session. It's 8:24 in the morning, and we're gonna head to a stadium. It's a football stadium, but we're not gonna train football now. We're gonna train on the track. But you'll see once we get there, we need to find the locations first. Okay, so we're finally here. We're gonna enjoy the first session in the sun. It's early morning, so it's not that hot right now. But I'm gonna go for a track session where we're gonna focus on my cardio, and this workout is part of the new 𝗖𝗶හි𝗲𝗄𝗵 initiative that I haven't spoken of yet. I'll speak more about it later on in the video. I will take you through the entire exercise. This is definitely something you can do as a footballer as well. It's geared slightly more towards longer endurance for longer distances, but I'll take you through the entire session, and we have Agnes and we have Alex here who will document and shoot the entire thing in a beautiful way, in a beautiful place.
So, time for a proper warm-up, and since I had been away from training for a good amount of days before we got to Cyprus, I really wanted to warm up the body properly. So I went for 2 laps around the track, which is 400 meters times 2, so 800 meters. Ideally, I probably would have wanted to go for a bit more, but we were in a bit of a rush, so I had to cut it short. And then I did some dynamic stretching, and since it's pre-session, we don't want to go for static stretching, but instead we want to stretch dynamically and get our body prepped for the session.
Okay, so the warm-up, we went for 2 laps of 400 meters, so 800 meters, and then some dynamic stretching. Now I'll go for more football-specific warm-up routine where I will go with the band. Then we'll go for a few faster, quicker runs just down the track right here, and then we'll start the session for real.
I went for some band work, and the goal of the band work is to activate some key stabilizing muscles. They're excellent for targeting your glutes and your hips, and it also helps to wake up the muscles and improve that mind-muscle connection so that we're actually ready to do more intense work within the session. And then the final thing that I did in the warm-up was to do some strides, and the goal of doing strides is to bridge the gap between easy jogging and high-intensity running. So what you want to do is you want to sprint to 85 to 95% of your max ability for short bursts of 30, 40, 50 meters to activate those fast-twitch muscle fibers and get ready for the session.
Okay, so warm-up is done. Now we'll go for the intervals, and what I will do is I recently invested in a Polar Vantage V3, which is kind of a heart rate tracker, and then I have this H10 strap, which is like the best of the best when it comes to tracking your heart rate. So that links to my watch. So as you can see, this is the interface that we have. So here we have our distance, so warm up and everything else included. We have gone for 1.07 kilometers. We have our duration of the session, our pace, and our heart rate zones. And this is the most interesting when we're training for our endurance, because we have the 5 zones. So we have zone 1, 2, the green is 3, orange 4, and then the red is 5. And with the intervals, we want to push into zone 5, which is close to our maximum heart rate. When we're training with the intervals for zone 5, we target our max heart rate, and when we're up in that range, that's when we actually improve our, our top end endurance and can improve our VO2 max, which is an important metric that we want to raise to get an even better level of fitness and of endurance. So I will go for a couple of intervals. First I will go for 600 meters, then 2-3 minutes rest, then another 600 meters, 2-3 minutes rest, then 400 meters, and then I will finish off with 200 meters and 200 meters, and that will be it.
After a bit of a rest and a quick lunch, it was time to get on the road and drive about an hour to the capital of Cyprus, to the city of Nicosia. The reason for this was to do something that I'd never done before. But before I could do that, we had to find a pitch, and this was something that proved more difficult than expected. But then, while we were scouting for a location, suddenly the phone rang, so I picked up.
Hello?
I'm doing well. I don't know any other place because I said you there.
So do you live nearby this pitch?
No, it's like 10 to 20 minutes.
Okay, because it seems like there's a cup or something on the big pitch with the stadium, if you know which one.
It's another pitch up or
Yeah,
down.
we are there. Yeah, we're standing beside it, but there's a game going on. But maybe it ends. I don't know yet. But there's two teams that's playing right now.
Yes, the other pitch is open. 𝗪𝗛𝗢𝗡𝗆, it's artificial ground pitch.
Okay. But should we try that instead?
Yes, you can search in Google, and it's like 5-10 minutes from there.
Okay, but if you have the address, could you send it? Because it's easier if you know the pitch location.
I will send you address on Instagram, and if you want to call me again.
Yes, sure. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
After the intel we received on the phone, it was time to try our luck again at a new location. Unfortunately, when we got there, the pitch manager said that all the pitches were unavailable and it started to look pretty dark. However, he also said to try our luck again with a pitch located just 5 minutes up the road. So we followed his advice and made our way up a hill, and then, finally,
Alright, so we eventually found a pitch. It wasn't the easiest. We were at one place first. It was like cup games going on and it wasn't looking like we were going to be able to train there. Then we find another place that Christos told us about. It was called 𝗪𝗛𝗢𝗡𝗆. It was some nice artificial turfs, but it was fully booked until the night. But we found this pitch and, you know, it isn't the best, but we will do what we can with what we got. And that's always the mindset you should have, of course. And he should arrive in about 30 minutes, more or less. And then we'll get a session in right here. The first time I am training with one of my subscribers, which is gonna be incredible. I don't know which camera to look at, it's kind of...
and now we were here and it was time to do something that I'd never done before, and that was to train together with one of my subscribers. I would lie if I said that I wasn't a bit nervous, because somewhere I felt kind of a pressure to deliver, to make the training session worth it for the subscriber that decided to take their time to come see and train with me. But once they arrived, everything changed.
What's up? You good? Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How do you pronounce your name? Christos?
Yes.
Christos, nice.
Want me to change?
Oh yeah, don't stress. It doesn't look like anyone's gonna train, so...
No, I asked my friend before, even said to him, he says he's there. He I said, I text him again and he says around 6 o'clock they will come.
Oh, okay.
And then I answered to you.
Yeah, okay. The only team I know from here is 𝗵𝗄𝗄.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the Europe.
Yeah, exactly. They played in the Champions League and...
I played when I was young there.
in 𝗵𝗄𝗄? Mm. What position do you play? Striker as well, maybe, sometimes?
Sometimes.
You scored the goals, huh?
I'm not good at that.
No? We'll get some
I'm
reps
not
in.
playmaker.
Ah, okay,
I'm ready.
that's good. Good. Should warm up first. But you are 15, 14? 15. How many times do you train a week? 4 times? That's good. Nice. And then we can go, so we stand this way, and then we just go to the side.
As soon as we got underway with the session, I immediately noticed how serious and focused Christos was for what otherwise could just have been a fun kickabout.
We can just start passing, just to get a feel for the grass. It's gonna be a bit bouncy, I guess. You're left or right footed? Left.
Remind you, no matter how hard it gets, the years and the tears you spent are worth it all.
Touch feeling a bit better. So if you start here on one side, maybe you've done this one before, and then you just go high knees, and then we can play the ball on the ground first. So you pass me, I pass back, and then we go here, and then right. So right this side. So also you can think that these are the defenders, and you want to have your body between the defenders and the ball. So you want the ball on the foot. Exactly, good.
The pitch was what it was. Ball bounced all over the place, but we did what we could, and I didn't hear Christos complain even once.
when your head's in the clouds.
Halfway there, come on, keep it up.
You've been pushed and pulled till it's hard to believe.
Go to this one first instead. So the same there, the same there. Then you come here.
You're meant to be. No matter how hard it gets,
Nice.
the years and the tears you spent
Wheel? Have you
Yes.
seen that video?
Yes, yes.
What did it say? Like the
Overall.
Huh?
Overall.
Yeah.
I think my highest was 8.
Okay. In do you remember?
Mentality, no, I think.
Like in technical, if we were to work on them now,
I think
do you remember? Like your biggest strength. What would you say that is?
passing.
Passing and weakness.
Overall.
Yeah.
Shoot-
Or
shooting.
technical.
Shooting.
Shooting. Okay. I think then we can work some. We want to work on the strengths, and we want to work on the weaknesses, because we want to make our strengths even better, so we stand out on the pitch. Like you're a playmaker, you want your passing to be the best out of everyone on the field. And then the shooting, you want to raise that up to a level so you can compete with like everyone, even if it's not your strength, it's still something you're very good at. So we work on some passing and some shooting.
worth it all. Don't have to live with regrets. Look up and lift up your head and stand up tall.
Like when you're here, you really don't want to, if you're a defender and you're so far, if you stay there, and if you're so far away from me, like you see the distance, then you don't want to take the touch like this, because then it's very easy for you to, so like if you play me now and then you come quickly to me now, and then I can go past you with the long touch.
No, don't sleep on your dreams.
Well, if you would say, what is your dream like in football? If you have to say whatever you want, what to play in which team or like national team?
Abuel.
𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏. Oh, here. Yeah, that's definitely a good goal. Would you say you have any message to other players?
Yes.
What would you say? Like if you would give one tip that you know?
To keep trying.
And to anyone watching, I'd say that 𝗏𝗏 advice is probably the best you can give anyone. It may sound simple, but if you always keep trying to find new ways to attack your problems, trying new ways to succeed, eventually you will.
Nice.
I was so impressed with the maturity and mentality 𝗏𝗏 displayed for someone of his age, and seeing the fire in his eyes when speaking about his dream of playing for 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏. It made me even more motivated to keep going after my own goals, but I'd say what was even more eye-opening was that meeting, speaking, and training with 𝗏𝗏, it truly made me realize why I do what I do, and it opened up my eyes that the content I create actually impacts players out there, in the real world, and in a small way, actually gets them closer to realizing their football dreams. To 𝗏𝗏, I want to say, keep doing what you're doing, keep that fire alive, and go after that dream of playing for 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏. You definitely have what it takes, and as long as you maintain the focus, the commitment, and the mentality you showed me, the sky is truly the limit. Maybe we'll meet again someday, go through another session together, or maybe I'll see you on the TV, crushing it for 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏. But until then, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. Good morning and welcome to day 4 of the Cyprus adventure. We start this morning off with a 6:30 sunrise swim in the Mediterranean Sea. A great way to add cardio into your workout routine without risking overloading your legs. And I mean, just look at this water. But what happened on day 3, you may ask? Actually, I didn't train at all, and there was a good reason why, which I will tell you about in just a minute.
Var det jobbigt?
Alltså... Jag vet inte vad jag ska säga. Extremely early morning session here on day 4 in Cyprus. Went for a swim all the way around from that beach. It was definitely a special experience, and I even encountered some rocks on the way because in some places it was very shallow and I didn't see it until I hit the rocks. But it was a good workout, work a bit on that cardio. Didn't feel the best yesterday, and my readings on the whoop showed that I was not in a good state after the first day of training. And the first day was an intense one, a hectic one. I did the track session, which was very intense. It was intervals, it was a lot of work on my central nervous system, working that anaerobic endurance and getting that cardio work in. And then it was a trip to Nicosia and to train with Christos, and it was actually more intense than I thought beforehand, and I got quite a high strain from it on the whoop, and that's what I wanted to talk about now, because today the whoop showed recovery within the red. And if you are a whoop user, you know that when you're in the red, it's usually something, it's up, you're sick, or you have had a tough training session, or a few training sessions in my case, and that tells me that my body isn't fully recovered from yesterday's work, and I also feel kind of bad today. So that's why I decided, based on how I feel and based on what the whoop told me, with an elevated heart rate and with a lowered HRV, which is your heart rate variability, based on those stats that I got and based on how I feel today, I decided that today will be kind of a lighter day, where maybe we'll go for a bit of a walk, explore the area here in 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗔, and see what we can find, basically. And if you're interested in acquiring the whoop yourself, this bad boy, which has stayed on my arm since 2021, so more than 4 years I've had the whoop now, and I still feel like it's one of the best tools that you can use to, you know, being able to train harder, learn how your body works, recover quicker. I've made a few videos on the whoop that you can watch if you want more information on it, but if you use the link within the description down below, you will get your first month for free, along with a free whoop strap, if you feel like that's something for you. But I use the whoop, and I will continue using the whoop for the foreseeable future, because I think it's the best tool, as I said, for your recovery and for everything that involves. A very easy day yesterday, and then a great start to this morning and to watch a beautiful sunrise. But now it's time to head back home and get going with the rest of the day. We still have a lot of days here left in Cyprus, and we'll see what the future awaits. Okay, so straight back home and straight into another training session. We're gonna train here just outside our villa by the pool. So me and Alex is gonna put in a bodyweight strength training session, because we don't have any tools at our disposal, like perhaps many of you don't have access to gyms and all that, because you usually write that in the comments. So you should be able to do all these exercises that we will do now. These exercises will be geared slightly more towards endurance, because we don't have any access to any external weights, so we can't achieve that overload through doing like few reps with high weights. Since we don't have access to them, we will go for bodyweight exercises and do like a circuit style session. But you will see everything once we get going. Let's go.
Ando bien fly sin avión, tengo el mundo entero bailando reggaetón. Estamos bien, estamos al 100, mato la liga, rompo la tarima, nadie por encima nosotros. Y lo hicimos otra vez.
So heading straight into the session, what we started off with was a circuit. So we went for 2 laps of lower body exercises, and what we saw first was the squats, then the lunges. Then we did these single leg RDLs, which work our balance, our hamstring strength. Working unilaterally, working off of one leg always helps you with that balance, and they also make the exercises harder. So if you think that working off 2 legs is easy, you can always try to do exercises off of 1 leg, and you will see greater adaptations and greater strength gains and greater balance gains than if you would work bilaterally on 2 legs. And we finished off with the wall sit, which is a grueling one for about 1 to 2 minutes. Before resting, going again, and then heading into the upper body exercises, we worked on some incline push-ups, some planks for 45 seconds up to a minute, and we finished off with some tricep dips on the chairs, and we did this for 2 laps as well.
Welcome to Cyprus and to 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗄, which is the villa that we're staying in for the duration of our stay. But I just thought I could quickly show you around the villa. It's got 3 bedrooms, it's got 4 bathrooms, a kitchen, a living area, a lot of things. But I'll show you everything as we just head inside. And we go through this big front door and we're greeted by the kitchen. It's a very nice kitchen. It's got everything we need to cook the meals and yeah, fuel ourselves for the week. And then we keep going and we go upstairs, and then we come up to the 2nd floor, and then we got the 1st bedroom, and this is where Alex is staying. Yeah, it's got 2 single beds. It's got this nice balcony area where you can sit and yeah, watch the view. And we keep going. And then as we head into Agnes's room, we have a double bed. With all the supplies that we need. We got another bathroom. We don't need to show that because it's, yeah, it's a girl's bathroom, if you know what I mean. And then we head into my room, clean in the bathroom. More or less the same as the other. And then we got my bedroom, another double bed. Basically everything we need. We got a TV. A balcony, but I'll show you the outside once we get outside. And then we're back on the 1st floor, and then we have another bathroom, the 4th one, probably the smallest one, just a spare one if you're downstairs. Then we head into the main living room. We got a big couch, a TV. We got Alex here editing. What's up? And that's basically it. Probably spend the most amount of time here and in our own rooms, of course. And then we can head outside to probably the highlight of the entire villa. So we got a dining table, we got a nice pool, we got a shower, we got 4, what do you call them? Sunbeds. And we can keep going over here. And then we are back to where we began. And this was the entire villa. It's definitely enough for us 3. It could house 6 people if we really wanted to. And yeah, I think we all like it, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you like the house tour, and I don't know if I'm much of a house tour guide, but I did my best. But yeah, I'll see you in just a minute. All right, so it's the start of day 5 here in Cyprus, and it's time for another football session. We're out here on another field. That was the stadium that we did the track session around the first day here in Cyprus. But now I'm gonna put in a football session. I'm all by myself today, unfortunately, but we'll do what we can. I will focus on some speed, dribbling, finishing, maybe some passing if I can find a good wall. We'll see. We'll just get creative with what we can do and go for about 45 to 60 minutes, perhaps. But let's start off with a warm-up.
So I like to start my sessions off by just going around with the ball, juggling, dribbling, passing against walls, to get loose in my body and just to have some fun before the session truly starts. Then I went for a passing exercise where I used the only wall that I found and worked on the first touch in different scenarios. Then I moved on to a change of direction and dribbling exercise where I first go for sharp 90-degree turns before picking up the ball, going through a cone weave, taking on the last defender and having a finish at goal.
siento vacío porque sin ti yo no siento nada. Eres la única que me inspira a volar. Te he ofrecido solo mi corazón, nada más, nada más.
And to be fair, the most important thing when training alone is to be adaptable, to work with what you have in your environment and not over-obsess with what you don't have. And not be afraid to try things, to be creative, to make mistakes, because it's those mistakes that you'll learn from in the end. But as we got to the midway point of the session, we had a slight issue, you could say.
Oj. Det där har han gjort förr.
Den är lugn, man har gått sönder. Men det måste bara ha fastnat.
Y si tú me quieres, ven pa' aquí, te atreves. Dame esto lento, quiero sentir tu cuerpo. Volamos juntos, cuando estamos juntos. Ven pa' aquí, mi amor, somos el amor. El mundo se paró, solo esta pasión. Mira, me siento el calor de tu mira. Cuando se saca estoy tranquila y no me importa nada. Fuego, yo siento contigo un fuego. Me mata el olor de tu cuerpo y no me importa nada. Thought we could be cool for the summer. Mira, me siento el calor de tu mira. Cuando estás acá estoy tranquila y no me importa nada. Fuego, yo siento contigo un fuego. Me mata el olor de tu cuerpo. Aquí mi amor, somos el amor. El mundo se paró, solo esta pasión.
So in the last two videos that I posted, I spoke a lot about identity and how in the end you are more than just a footballer, and that's hard to truly understand sometimes when all you want to do is chase a career in football. And I also spoke about how you can reset as a footballer and how I have been in need of a reset to get back on track and to truly find out what my current goals are in my career. And that leads us to today. And today I wanted to speak about how you can always stay motivated as a footballer. And I know that's a bold statement, and I said it in the previous videos, but I truly believe that you can always stay motivated. Maybe not on a day-to-day basis, but I believe that if you have a goal that truly makes you excited to get up every day and to put in the work, then I believe you are motivated. Because obviously there will be days when I get up in the morning and I feel like, oh, I don't want to go train, or I don't want to make videos, or whatever it may be. But if I have a long-term goal and a vision that I strive for, then I know that out of 10 mornings, I will be consistent in putting in the work. And if I have a goal that truly makes me excited, then it makes it much more likely that I actually stay consistent in putting in the work that I need to do. But what happened to me was that I had set a goal for the last couple of years, and at the start of Project Reborn and also the restart of Project Reborn 2, the goal was to sign a new professional contract. It was a simple goal, and it was to make my comeback into professional football. But then now, as at the start of Project Reborn 2, and as the months have gone by, I just started to feel like, why am I training? Why am I doing this? To just do the same thing that I did before. And that's ultimately where I ended up and where I felt like I needed to do something more. And those ideas have stemmed from the reset that I've been going through for the last couple of weeks, and also now here in Cyprus. And what this has led to is to me creating new goals. Instead of thinking that, okay, I want to make my comeback into professional football, I have set new goals, and goals that are actually outside of football, but they are still related to football. And this goal for me is called the 𝗂𝗶𝗲𝗵 initiative.
For the last few years, something has been missing. Not my love for football, not my willingness to work, but the spark, the fire, the one thing that makes you wake up in the morning with a burning desire to chase something bigger. I've reached a point where I know that staying on the same path wasn't enough anymore. I needed something that scared me, something that challenges me, something that forces me to become more than who I am today. This is where the 𝗂𝗶𝗲𝗵 initiative begins. A personal mission to transform not just my body, not just my fitness, but my entire identity as an athlete. For the next chapter of my life, I will step into new arenas, test new systems, and chase new goals. The 800 meters, the national championships, pushing my mind, my lungs, my muscles to places they've never been before. Because I believe real growth lives outside of comfort, outside of routine, outside of what we already know. But understand this, I am not finished with football. Football will always be here, it's in my blood, it's where I was built. The 𝗂𝗶𝗲𝗵 initiative is not me walking away from football, it's me preparing to return stronger. Stronger mentally, stronger physically, stronger emotionally. This path I'm walking now, this hybrid path, will one day converge back into the world where it all began. The goal hasn't changed, the vision hasn't changed, the mission hasn't changed. Because when the time comes, I will step back onto that pitch, not as who I am today, but as the strongest version of myself I've ever been. This is the 𝗂𝗶𝗲𝗵 initiative. And that's where I wanted to get to. Do you remember the question I asked you in the start? The question that someone asked me when I was younger. That someone was actually this guy. Do you remember your answer? Good. Because now I'll tell you why I asked you the question. I asked you the question because I wanted you to think. I wanted to allow you a brief moment to visualize that dream in front of you. How it made you feel, how it made you excited, how it made you hungry to keep chasing for more, for a better version of yourself. That is what I've been chasing ever since then. The dream that I had back then have acted as my guiding light ever since I was a kid. Now, dreams change, and there is nothing wrong with that. But in the present moment, in the now, there is nothing stronger, nothing more powerful than your dream. Because that dream, that should guide you forward from now on. As long as you can see it in front of you, as long as you can see the horizon. As I stood on top of the mountain and looked over towards the horizon and to the most beautiful sunset I had ever seen, I realized that my dreams are right there, on the horizon. And to be fair, none of us will never reach that horizon, because the closer we get to it, the further away it will go. But as long as it's there, as long as our dream stays intact, we will always keep moving forward.